South Korea offering to hold military talks with its neighbor to the north for the first time amid recently building tensions over North Korea's nuclear weapons development and threats of using them. Fox News military analyst and former U.S. Army Vice Chief of Staff, retired four-star General Jack Keane joins us now. General, good to see you. Well, we've been here before. Whenever we try the soft, maybe it's just I'm on the outside, but it seems whenever we try the soft touch with barbarians, we lose. You can't negotiate with barbarians, whether they're North Koreans or Iranians. Am I right or wrong?
No, you pretty much got it. The fact is, we have done this a number of times. We've had other South Korean presidents who've tried a diplomatic approach over the last 30 or 40 years, and we have nothing to show for it. Nothing, David. The North Koreans have nuclear weapons, and they're now trying to tip those weapons on top of ballistic missiles, which they're accelerating the tests of, as we all know. So the diplomatic approach has been a failure. Now, if the diplomatic approach, part of this is to get some South Koreans reunited with their families, and that works, that's probably a good thing. And no one would dispute that. But in terms of the heart of the crisis, denuclearizing North Korea has not worked. It's been an abysmal failure. President Moon will find that out in time.
Well, and let's face it. I mean, the war still has tremendous wounds in South Korea. There were hundreds of thousands of people killed or affected by it directly. It's an awful thing. They don't want to repeat. They've got an interest in wanting peace, a very strong interest in wanting peace. But again, just history shows that you can't do it. And then switching to Iran for a moment, because they're very similar. They're both nuclear threats. They both have a tendency to take Americans hostage. We just had an American citizen sentenced to 10 years by the Iranians. So they have a lot in common. And here we're thinking about sort of solidifying the Iranian deal, at least, and recertifying it. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, the deal itself gave Iran legitimacy on the world stage because they were negotiating with a half a dozen world powers to get that deal. It gave them some degree of legitimacy inside their own country, and this regime is a pariah to many people inside Iran. So on the face of that, it's disturbing. The deal also, and this is what the Iranians wanted so desperately, it gave them a windfall of money, over $100 billion, and with that money, they are equipping their fighters in Lebanon, in Syria, in Iraq, and in Yemen. It is a windfall for them. Now, this administration, David, they don't like this deal. I mean, you know that. They have said that during their campaign, and they've said it since.
So why are they then moving towards recertifying Iran?
Well, because they're caught. They're caught because the reality is, I don't believe there's unequivocal evidence that Iran is cheating. And number two, they've got another half a dozen countries that are signatories to this deal. I believe this administration at some point will walk away from this deal, but they want to take the other countries with them. They don't want this to be a unilateral thing on their part. They want the world with them because you don't want to give Iran the moral high ground in any way, shape, or form. I think that's where the administration is.
I see. So in other words, if I could just end it with this, it seems as though the deal was so poorly constructed that it gives tremendous latitude to the Iranians to get away with a lot of stuff, and they've been getting away with it, but it's in the deal. They're doing it, so they have to, according to the deal, they have to be recertified. Am I right?
That is correct. And listen, we know the Iranians will cheat. They're probably likely cheating right now.
Right.
We just don't have the goods on them yet to be able to prove it to everybody.
Gotcha.
Eventually, we will get there with that, and I believe this administration will walk away from it at some point.